I'm gonna do a little charcoal drawing, I think. Hi, my name is Polina Gazeva and I'm an artist living and working in Berlin. I'm not from Berlin. Actually, I'm from Russia. I've left when I was 15. I lived in Hanover for 8 years, roundabout. And now I'm living in Berlin. I've been living in Berlin for about 3 years now. I love it. I love it much more than I loved Hanover. I did not love Hanover. And it was mostly the circumstances why I was there, and not a personal choice. I mean, a lot of good things have happened there. Amazing things, life-changing things, obviously, but I'm happy to be in a new chapter of my life. I mean, I guess it's not that new anymore. It's been 3 years. But yeah, today I'm doing a charcoal drawing. I don't know yet what I'm going to be doing exactly, but it's going to be small scale, which I don't like, but I don't have anything else to work on right now, so we're just gonna go with that. It's getting winter now in Berlin, which means it's getting dark early, and it's getting cold, and it's getting gray, and it's getting So, which also means, apart from everything else that brings, that it's going to be harder to actually make videos because of the light. But I also decided, you know what, that's fine. We're just going to go with non-amazing light. And those who care about my art, or me, or just want to watch something, no, they're still going to watch the videos. So it feels so tiny. I usually work on something bigger, something like 1.5 meters lengthwise is usually the size I go for. I would go for bigger if I had a big studio space and money for a big canvas. Do you know how much a big canvas costs? Like, if you just buy a canvas? Something about like 1.70 meters. Well, not even 1.70 meters, like 1.50 meters by, I don't know, what is it, like a meter? Something like that, can easily cost you 70-80 euros. Just a canvas. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, it's really fucking hard to buy canvases. They're so expensive. And then people are like, oh, just build your own. Well, guess what? I don't know where you live, but in Germany, if you just want to buy the frames for the canvas, like the base for the canvas, and then the cloth for the canvas, it's going to cost you the same. It's not going to be cheaper. Like, maybe it's going to be like a little bit better quality if you do it well, but it's not going to be cheaper. That's for sure. And it's fine. You know what? It doesn't matter. Money doesn't exist. So it's fine. Charcoal drawing, charcoal. This is so small. I don't know, what do I make? What do I make? I'm gonna make this video even if the drawing is not gonna come out well. I think. I mean, you wouldn't know. I mean, you know. If you see this video, then you know. It's so silly to be an artist. It's so silly to rely on this to feel okay, you know? I like to have this be such a thing that you like, I have to do this. I have to make a silly thing to be okay. I have to make a silly thing to be happy. I'm doing this because it makes me feel good, but like it's silly. Who needs it, you know? Oops. I mean, obviously we need art. And obviously, like that's what makes life. Kind of. Like silly, stupid things. Because they're not actually silly and stupid. They're actually really important and very serious. I'm a very serious person. I notice when I'm feeling good, I become very childlike. Like the manner in which I behave is very childlike. I also noticed when I am uncomfortable, let's say in a social station, not even uncomfortable, just like a new social station. Like, I mean, I think everyone does it to a certain extent. Like we have this idea of how we want to come off to people, how we want to be seen. If I'm comfortable, if I'm actually like really confident, very happy, I become like a child, I think. And I've noticed it with like people that I know as well, or some people that I know as well, which I think is very cute. I think it's great. Oh, but why are we talking about this? And why am I talking about this? Again, my mother tongue is Russian. And for a very long time, I've been kind of denying that when it comes to art in a way. It's a bit hard to explain. My surrounding is in English. All of my friends, like 90% of my friends speak English. I talk English with my spouse. The only times I talk Russian is with my roommate, who is my childhood best friend, because she moved here as well, not so long ago. And my parents and like my brother. But that's it. And when you're an artist who is trying to make it, in the world, like with YouTube or social media and just general things, you kind of have to settle on a language, right? Because that's going to an extent, define your audience. And obviously it makes more sense to make things in English. Because you just have a broader reach. And at some point my brain was like, okay, well, it doesn't make sense to make anything in Russian, because most of the people are not going to be able to understand it, and I want to be able to share things I make with like my friends. I mean, then my parents cannot really share it with me, but like you have to make some sacrifices, right? And because I speak English fine, I have trouble with talking sometimes. Like I feel like my tongue gets stuck. But I understand English, I write in English, but here's the thing, I keep on wanting to write more. I love the idea of writing. Sometimes I write a little text and then it makes me so happy. But I haven't really been writing. It's actually very hard for me to sit down and write. And I also always feel restricted when I write. I don't have enough vocabulary. I don't know how to play with the words. And I thought the problem is just that I don't know how to write. But the thing is, when I do write in Russian, if I decide to write a little silly something in Russian, it actually works. I think it works. I don't know I don't really show it to other people because it's, embarrassing. I mean, it's not embarrassing, but like it's not an actual thing that I can show to people, but the words flow. Words flow, ideas flow. I'm able to play with the words and change them the way I actually want to change them. And it made me recently realize just that maybe the problem is not that I can't write. The problem maybe is that I try to write in a language in which it's not working for me right now. So yeah, that's as far as I thought about this. I wrote a little something in Russian, and now I'm like, what do I do with it? Because no one can understand it. I can't, where do I post it? Where do I upload it? But then obviously art is not, they don't always have to share everything you make, right? But as an artist nowadays, I think you often fall into this mindset that you share most of the things you make. So I'm kind of right now trying to, again, start making things for myself. Or just start making things without really having an idea of how I'm going to show them, how I'm going to present. I think that's a problem. Not that I feel like I have to share it. Like, I haven't been, for example, uploading on Instagram in like ages, and it's fine. It's more that, like, when I make something, I'm thinking like, okay, how am I actually going to present it? Like, how is it? Like, if it's a painting, oh, it can be hung on the wall. I can show it in an exhibition. If it's a video, I can upload it on YouTube, or I can show it also in an exhibition on the screen. And then I write a text in Russian, and I'm like, but where do I go from here? So yeah, I think the problem is that it feels like there is no space for it. Like, it's just going to sit in my notebook forever and I guess that's going to be it. But I think that's important. And I think eventually, if something needs to come out of it, something will. Like, maybe I'll make a video with it, maybe I'll use it for something else, or maybe it's also just nice to, you know, write a thing and, like, just make things. But it's hard. It's something you need to, again, kind of get used to. Okay, I'm gonna go eat now. I think it's okay to sometimes not work under perfect conditions. Like, my perfect condition would be that I don't have to do anything else but paint. And that I have a huge studio space with a lot of different materials. And just, you know, the physical space and freedom to make things. That would definitely work in really big scale if I could. And I think I will eventually. And I think I just kind of have to be patient. And obviously I can bring a 2x2 meter canvas home and work on it. Like, it is possible, but it's not going to be comfortable. And I just feel like at this point I would rather not do that. Like, it's going to also bring stress. And I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's also okay for me to wait for better conditions for that. You know? Something that I do wish was different in my practice is, I guess, access to things. Like, I would love to work with ceramics, but I don't really have the space to do that. And I don't really have a way to fire ceramics either. And obviously I can bring it to, like, a space that does it for me, where I just pay and they fire it for me and glaze it for me and then fire it again. But, you know, it all comes back to money and just convenience. It's annoying. It is annoying when, like, such trivial things prevent you from doing what you want to do. In a way, working with pastels is much simpler than, let's say, oils or any paint, really. You have less choices here, you know? You can hardly, you have a couple of colors to choose from. I mean, you can mix them a little bit, but not that much. Not the way you can mix paint, at least. You can't layer it the way you can layer paint. I mean, again, you can layer, but that's not the same. Yeah, there are just less choices, and it's in a way it's nicer. It forces you to like work with what you have, and sometimes that leads to interesting things. I'm so not used anymore to working on something that only takes a day to finish. And not even like a whole day, like a couple of hours. I always work on paintings now that take weeks. It's different. It feels different. It's also nice to have a painting that you keep on like coming back to and working and developing it. It's like much slower process and more intimate in a way. Somehow this reminds me of what I used to make as a kid. I definitely worked a lot with pastels when I was younger. I was really obsessed with abstraction at some point. We found this eraser when hiking in Porto. So if you want to buy this painting, this drawing that I blew on very hard, feel free to check out my website. You can also check out my other drawings on which I did not breathe very hard. And if you want to support me, you can support me on Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. Okay, I think this is gonna be it. No, it's not on bed. I feel like this is a vicious cycle. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done with this. I will spray it with some fixative tomorrow because I'm very tired now, actually. And I'm going to take photos of it and I'm going to upload it on my website. So again, if you want to check it out, you can do it on my website. See you in the next video.